Porsche, quite rightly, takes a lot of flack for charging a lot of money for a lot of optional extras on its cars. And yet that policy does mean that pretty much every car leaves the factory with a different specification. Add to that the fact that subsequent owners often tinker, tweak and modify their cars. And you and me as 981 owners can be pretty much certain our cars are unique, as I'm about to discover in this video. Welcome to Project 981 and welcome back to the channel. And yes, I do think pretty much every Porsche is unique. Often similar, but very rarely the same. And that's what Phil, a friend of the channel, thought when he watched one of my videos. He's got a 981 Boxster GTS. It's also red. And he thought, I think a compare and contrast would be quite good here. He's done a few tinkers and tweaks and upgrades too. So we're going to have a look at both cars. We're going to focus on Phil's, see how it differs to mine, and just get under the skin of why we love our GTSs. Let's get stuck in. Phil, welcome to Project 981.
Hi.
Thank you for getting in touch, and I think we've got a real compare and contrast here because we've already had a quick chat off camera and your car has got some very tasty bits and pieces on it. Let's start by having a look at what you think is the factory spec. So I think you said it was a 2015 car?
It was registered November 2015.
Lovely.
Guards red. Manual car, which was what I specifically wanted.
Good.
And then from an options perspective, exterior, the gloss black pack.
Okay.
Just lifts the plastics.
Yes.
It's got the Carrera S wheels in satin black.
Okay, which I think is what mine's got.
Folding mirrors.
Yes.
And then on the interior, it was sat-nav PCM 3.1 and phone prep.
Yes.
I've then got the Bose stereo.
Oh yes, okay, yeah, good.
And I think that's everything actually.
So let's have a walk around. So obviously the exterior, the black pack, the exterior GT pack gives you it's all this.
Yeah, so you've got the gloss black, side vents.
Oh, they are as well. That's right. Yeah, and actually, just I'm guessing also this,
mirror bases as well.
That's different to mine.
Rollover hoops are gloss black.
Yeah, okay.
And then the rear diffuser is gloss black as well.
Yeah, so it's just that little outer piece there, isn't it? And actually, our cars are within a couple of months same age. It's not too scratched, is it?
Considering that it's got spacers on.
Oh, as well.
It's not too bad.
So those would spit out.
They kick
more,
stuff. Yeah,
more
they kick
material.
up the side of the car.
Yeah. So here we go. So there's the gloss black on the. It's pretty sharp, and we'll come on to what you've done to the car. So you've got your original badging. I've taken mine off or shuffled it around. And so, as I was sort of saying at the top of the film, similar but not the same. And if you've not watched any of my videos before, you won't be familiar with my car, but let's just have a quick look. So mine's carmine red, which is the deeper red, a little bit more black, a little less. I mean, here's a good compare and contrast. I don't have the exterior pack, so all of my exterior plastic is not shiny. It's got a sort of satin finish to it. So for example, I don't have, we can literally sort of there's Phil's intake with the gloss. There's my intake without the gloss. So satin, same on the, if I spin round, show you my wing mirror. So you get the idea. And then on the front, again, it's that satin finish. And both cars look superb. And there's I think this is one of the things that 981 does very well. It will take a lot of different specs and look good in all of them. So Phil, you've done a few little bits and pieces on the outside.
I have.
Which we can kind of see. Let's start at the very front. Tell me about your number plate.
So this is undersized. But I've actually got it on a Porsche plinth, which is smaller than the OEM plinth.
Yeah. I'm just going to pull back so you can see. I mean, the OEM plinth is well, it's the full. I think it's 510 mil, whatever it is. It's a big old plinth, and yours is far more discreet.
I believe it's from the Italian market.
Yeah, you said it was an OEM part.
Yeah, it's a Porsche part.
Because they have those diddy little plates, don't they? They're exactly that. Those little slim ones, which look so much better on the front of a Lambo or Ferrari. Excellent.
And then I've meshed the front grille. I've done a DIY mesh on the front.
And that looks really smart, actually. I might have to have a... So how have you Basically, how have you fixed it on?
So that's cable tied in on the two sides.
Okay.
And then the centre,
Yes.
I have cable tied it, but it's completely invisible how it's gone in.
I'm going to have to ask you off camera how you've done that, because that's a really good job, and actually it's probably one of the best I've seen, I think. Because there's a popular brand which we both know, Zunsport, which tends to leave this sort of thick, has a sort of boundary to it, which you haven't got on yours. Yours is sitting really nicely. I can just see your ties.
Just see that, yeah. I'd like to clean that up if I can, but I was running short of time as I was getting to the point of doing it. It was the night before a car show.
Yeah. Now let's look down the side of the car, because you've done a few bits and pieces to your suspension. So we've both got ostensibly the same, well, ostensibly they are the same wheels. And I'm just going to check my theory, because my car came with these wheels in silver, and they've subsequently been sprayed satin black, which is why I always got confused by my valve stem, which remains silver. But if I swing around and look at yours, this kind of proves my theory, which is that yours are evidently black from start because you've got the black valve stem. So it's a note to self when I get mine redone. Anyway, same size wheel, but yours lower and further out. Talk to me about what you've been up to.
So it's got the H&R springs on the PASM shocks,
Right.
which drops it another 15 mil over the PASM.
Okay.
There's then an adaptation on P-Wiz, so that you can tell it basically
tell
that
the
it's
car
got
it's
the
lower.
yeah, it's lower.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I've had a fast geo done on it as well, fast road
yes,
geo done on it as
okay.
well, with a fair bit of camber.
Yes.
So I've got 1.5 on the front, 2.5 on the rear,
Right.
and a tiny bit of toe out.
Acorns coming down.
And a tiny bit of toe out on the rear as well, just to help the rear end rotate.
Yep.
And then other than that, some spacers. So it's
Yeah.
got,
I mean, as a sort of compound effect, it's sharp, isn't it?
it transformed the look of the car. When I collected it from having the springs fitted, I was
Yes.
really pleased.
Really happy with it.
Really pleased, yeah.
So, I mean, let's see if I can just give a sense. So roughly we're sort of 25 mil. So is that right? 25 mil lower than stock?
Then a 15 lower than a PASM shock, 25 lower than a non-PASM.
Non-PASM, that's it.
Yeah.
Which is for our North American viewers, is give or take an inch, isn't it? I
Yes,
think.
exactly that.
Yeah. So there we go. And it's funny because I think the standard, that's obviously PASM on the GTS with a 20-inch rim, it does fit the wheel arch well, but then you see how much better it could look. And you've also got the spacer. So, and you said, so just remind me,
That's a 12 mil
12
on the front,
front,
and then a 15 on the rear.
15 on the rear, and it really does, with the springs as well, sit very nicely, doesn't it? So just a little bit, but otherwise, as we were saying, it's the stock wheel, so there's still a 265.
Yep,
Yeah,
with a PS4S tyre.
nice. Yeah, so if I try and do a sort of just show you a little bit of tyre, there it is, and then compare that with mine, you can really see the difference there. Very nice indeed. And then coming, as I'm already to the back of the car, we've got a little bit of extra OEM aftermarket, if that's such a thing, with your ducktail.
Yeah, so that's the genuine Spider ducktail from Porsche. I wanted it to fit perfectly, so paid the extra.
Yes.
And then it comes primed.
Oh, okay, so it is primed. So you
Comes
only have
primed, yeah. So then you have to have it colour matched, sprayed and colour matched.
coated, coated presumably.
But yeah, I think it just adds a little extra to the back of the car that I think
Yeah.
it needed.
Actually, we've got with both the cars where they are. It's actually quite nice. We can just get a real compare and contrast. And you were describing having to get the specific brackets.
Yeah, there's two brackets with Porsche
They're
tacks
sort
on them.
of in here and here, aren't
just
they?
at the top of the struts.
Yeah.
And they work out about 45, 50 pounds each.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Oh, just pop them under the lens. But I mean, you know, the fit here is absolutely spot on, isn't it?
It's a game to make it fit because you have to align it up in the up position.
With a bit of a guess.
With a bit of a guess.
Presumably.
So there's some to-in and fro-in to get the fitment and the
Yeah.
gapping absolutely
I mean,
perfect.
that is. Oh, you've done a fantastic job there. And I shall literally slide across, taking your footwear and pass to mine, and you can see by way of comparison it is the same. So nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah, oh, okay, there's the clue. Right, now, we've spoken about the exterior GTS pack. You have something a little bit different on the inside of your car. So
I have, yeah.
I'm going to just, we'll pause, crack open the doors, and you can tell me what you've been up to. So Phil has just popped down the roof, and we can see the exterior rollover hoops with the black, piano black. And I was looking through the window at the seats, and I thought, oh, gee, I'm thinking, hang on, he hasn't got the interior pack, but there's something wrong with these seats. And if you're a keen Porsche fan, you'll know that the way that this fabric is sitting here is a little bit different to what we'd expect from 91. What have you been up to, Phil?
It's got a full 718 interior, so it's not the 981.
I mean, goodness me. Yeah, so this is brilliant. It just shows how versatile these cars are. It also demonstrates how much time and commitment you've spent on your car. So you have literally got everything that you can take out of this car and put in from a 718.
Other than the dash top. So the only thing I haven't swapped is the dash top. Other than that, yeah, I've done the lower dash, the centre console, the armrest, the door cards, the seats, the mats, and the steering wheel.
It's amazing, isn't it? And where I think you were describing to me a little while ago, where you were so fortunate, I think, is finding a car. So what was the donor car?
It was a 2018 2.5 GTS in silver that had been written off.
Oh, really? So, but in such a way that as to
Interior
leave the
was
entire
perfect.
interior.
Yeah.
So you just got the whole thing.
Took the whole
That's
thing.
astonishing, isn't it? So now I know. I mean, most of us know. If you've watched the channel a few times, you'll know that I've had the door cards on my. It's the same door card. There it is. I think it's even a 991 part, but that looks really smart. So you've gained the contrast, the deviated stitching. I think that's crayon. That colour's called. You've got the carbon. Actually, we should say that when you bought the car, it had the full leather interior.
Yes, it was full leather interior with aluminium trim, and the multi-function steering wheel is what it came with.
So already, to the point of this video, already a different spec from the factory to mine, by way of example. And a quick reminder that the full leather interior was a no-cost option if you didn't fancy the Alcantara. So you've put the door cards on.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally just put 2 new seats in.
Yep.
So those are 718 seats, ostensibly, with the different lie of the Alcantara. The same two-way or four-way function. Glove box, obviously, because that would have been trimmed in leather. So, so you can't. You have to literally put the whole new glove box in, don't you? Because that's how it comes.
Yep.
I know from having done mine that these trim pieces just pop off. That's the cup holder mechanism, but it's really quite easy to get that out. Centre. Oh, so then there's the glove, the centre console cover.
Yep.
Which you had to sort of tweak the
I had
hinges.
to. I needed the bracket from the 981 and the top from the 718, and join them together at the hinge mechanism to make it work.
Okay, but it's gone in perfectly, hasn't it?
It works fine.
And I was speculating they might be a little bit deeper than maybe that's just a standard 718 depth. There is a slightly deeper Porsche Technique sort of aftermarket one you can buy or part. So you've obviously swapped out the silver trim for the carbon around there. We'll come on to that in a minute.
Okay.
And then you've got heated seats, and obviously you've got the full GTS pack of range of buttons. So yeah, so this is what you were saying a moment ago. This is this is the same as mine. So down here, and then where it runs over the instrument binnacle.
Yeah, so because I had the full black leather, I had black stitch.
Yeah.
If this had come with the GTS pack with the crayon stitch, I would have had.
You would have had that.
The silver crayon stitch on the dash as well, which I can live with.
But then arguably you probably wouldn't have changed the interior at that point.
No,
so.
no, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm going to pop around to your side. We've got steering wheel and the shifter, which are both not standard. Well, they are. They're OEM. Let's do the steering wheel first. So actually, I should just say you had the same as mine to start with. No, you didn't, did you?
No, I had the multifunction.
Okay.
So it's like the basic.
I think that was what I had on my 997, which is slightly sort of drops, like a droopy moustache.
Yeah. And I really didn't like it. It was too big. It's quite an ugly design.
Yes, it's a
Apologies to
funny
anyone that likes it.
Yeah.
I thought it was ugly, too big, and the leather had gone shiny where it was
okay.
at the age
Just
it was
a bit
at.
warm.
So I wanted the 718 steering wheel. Porsche obviously told me when I bought the car it wasn't possible. I thought it obviously would be.
Yep.
Did a bit of research and I bought a brand new steering wheel from Porsche. I managed to pick up an airbag off of eBay.
Okay. Best place for it.
genuine part, not
Yes.
a Chinese knockoff part or anything. And then an adapter that made the buttons work like OEM.
Okay. And you were saying because you had multifunction wheel, the fact you've put a multifunction wheel on meant there was no.
It was easy. It just daisy chained into the wiring harness within the steering wheel.
Yeah.
It worked
all the
fine.
bits and pieces behind it. Yeah. Lovely.
Plug and play.
Which explains why you also don't have the stalk there because you never had it. It's super. It's such a nice wheel, isn't it? And as we were saying, the 360 mil, so a little bit a smaller diameter.
Yeah, so that's classed as the GT wheel.
Yes, that's
which I think is, as you say, diameter difference.
Slightly. And then you've tweaked your shifter. So we've both got manual cars, which I'm fascinated by. I mean, can I get you to do a quick sort of demo? Just wobble it around a bit. It's got such an and you can hear it. It sounds amazing. Yeah, I mean that's so it's lower, and it's so you physically this isn't just the normally the short shift or the GT4 shift. It's actually a totally different mechanism in here, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is from a company called Numeric in the USA. It's a full billet shifter mechanism.
Right.
I haven't done the cables, so they do cables as well as an upgrade. So I've only done the mechanism at the moment.
So you've got the factory cables.
Yeah, exactly that, and then the aftermarket knob.
Yeah, okay. But what's interesting is, I mean, it's absolutely lovely, isn't it? You've matched the Alcantara with the Gator, with the contrast stitching here.
Yeah, that was another aftermarket part.
And that's a weighted knob?
Yes, that's weighted. So the company I got it from are in Holland, I believe.
Yep.
They do fully customisable options on the gear knobs, different designs, different colourways, and different weights. So I went for the heaviest.
Okay. But what was really interesting, what was encouraging for me is that you said that it's quite possible to actually lower. So on my, let's spin over to my car very quickly. It's possible to lower the shifter, lower the knob without being too schoolboyish about it. So here we go. So here's mine by way of comparison. I think you were saying it's possible to physically move that down the shaft slightly.
Yeah, exactly that.
Is that right?
Yeah. So how it sits on the mechanism itself when you take the gear knob off. With the aftermarket, you can just sit it lower. So yeah, you can absolutely take the 10, 15, 20 mil down. You can literally have it so the shaft will sit right up underneath.
So the moment it's sort of finishing here, and you can
exactly
go all the way up into there.
Exactly that.
So I should point the camera on doing that. Okay. Which would then slightly ruck up this, but actually, I mean, I've got a mate who does a bit of car trimming. I mean, presumably you could almost just lop off the top there.
You could, but I think you'll be okay.
Just sits a bit more here.
Yeah, just sits a bit more in there.
Excellent. Oh, that could be a nice little.
And it works
tweak.
exactly then like having the GT4 shifter mechanism, which has just got a shorter shaft on it.
Yeah. Well, I was earlier this summer. I was at Bicester and chatting to Dan, who's got a Spider, and he said exactly that. I was like, oh, really? He said, yeah, it's the same. It's the same shifter. It just sits differently. Absolutely fabulous. I mean, it's such a lovely interior, isn't it?
Yeah, it's transformed the car. I was very disappointed with the full leather, but I wanted a colour and a manual car when I bought this, and there weren't a huge number of options.
Right. So, and again, one of the things I've discovered getting to grips with my car is I've talked about it being the 981 being so modular in the way it's put together, because I mean, you just whole chunks of it just unbolt and come away, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I know from having taken my door cards and my glove box off, it's okay. You do it carefully. To do it properly, you need to do it carefully. But you could do that in the space of a day, quite happily.
It took me a morning to do the whole interior swap.
There we go.
It was very easy in December.
In December as well.
In December,
gosh, very impressive. Right, okay. I think it's probably time to go for a bit of a drive. But that is a lovely, lovely car, and as a really good example of how my theme for this video, similar but not the same. And I think you rather like it, don't you?
I'm very pleased with it. Yeah, longest I've kept any car.
Yeah, because we might talk about this as we go for a drive. But you're a serial modder.
Modder and car changer. Yeah, terrible.
Okay.
It's a running joke with my friends and my wife.
Yeah. So the fact that you've actually you've done a few things to this, but it's still here. You haven't moved it on. And actually, we might talk further. But you were sort of at that point of thinking, do you go deeper on this with performance, or are you tempted by the Spider? So let's hold that thought and go for a little drive.
Go on left or
yeah,
right?
So left here. Sorry, left here. A couple of speed bumps, and then a mini roundabout straight on. Because you're lower, aren't you?
Yeah.
So what was that?
The plastic under tray.
Oh, it was. Of course it is. Yeah. It's like, oh my lord. Right, so we're heading out for a bit of a drive. Phil is at the helm of his own car. We've just been reminded over a speed bump that if you lower your car, you might dink the under tray a little bit after a fashion. Now, you haven't made any engine mods to your car, have you?
So absolutely stock.
So it's completely the same as mine. So in that sense, there's nothing to compare and contrast here. We've both got the 3.4 litre engine, rated at 330 PS metric horsepower. I think torque is about 273 foot-pounds. We've both got the 6-speed gearbox. We're both running the same size wheels at the back. Obviously, you've got your lovely little numeric shifter, which is a delight. In terms of what I'm sensing already, we're a little bit low on we've got the lower springs. We've pulled away in sport, so although you've got your PASM set to soft, haven't you?
Yes.
Or normal.
Yeah.
So so how do you find that actually? So there's a good first question. So you haven't changed PASM, you've told the car it's sitting on the lower setup. So the spring rate's a bit firmer?
Yes, spring rate's a little firmer.
Go down there.
To be honest with you, I'm used to quite stiff cars. A lot of my cars in my past have had coilovers. I've got another car that's on coilovers.
Fine.
I still find this quite a soft, compliant ride.
Yeah, okay, interesting. And actually it does still feel pliant. I mean, I can sense it's a little firmer than mine. But yeah, there's a lovely pliancy still there, which, I mean, PASM, I think this is the second generation of PASM, I can't remember when it came out. But it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It does the job.
I don't believe in springs on standard shocks, lowering springs on standard shocks, because I don't think they ever work very well.
Okay.
This has worked amazingly. The combination with the PASM shock has been superb.
Left here. I think that's a relatively common change. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the combination.
Yeah, I've got friends who've got modified 981s as well.
Yeah.
We've got a mix of X73, H&R, which is what I have, and I-back springs.
Yes, okay.
Across PASM shocks. And all seem to work very well.
Yeah. Anyone running a DSC controller?
No. Which I know should add to the sort of dynamics of the car.
Yes,
no,
I think that's the shocks, the range of movement in the damping.
I think it's fully customisable, isn't it?
Oh, as well, actually, yes, I think that's right. He comes with various maps, and you can tinker the hell out of it, as I understand. I mean, rubbishy sort of urban road. Interior, not a creak, super pliant. There's no crashiness in suspension. Really nice. So if you're thinking of lowering your car, leave it on PASM. As you say, you've gone a full 15 beyond the standard PASM, haven't you?
Yes.
Standard GTS with 25mm lower. That's really nice.
It's a 5mm lower than the X73.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, which was the static, the lowest you could get.
Yeah.
From the factory. And actually, I think for me it's surprising how many cars did come with that. Surprising, because I'd have thought people would have favoured, in the UK at least, the PASM, because of our roads are a little bit lumpy and bumpy, but by all accounts it's a nice setup anyway. Interior, I mean, it's funny because even as we were filming, my brain was going, this is the same, therefore we do not need to sort of spot the differences. And actually, from the seat, because of course your 718 seats have a slightly different trim pattern, but they are ostensibly the same seats. I mean, it's just carbon, Alcantara, lovely crayon contrast stitching. Now, one of the things I can't show on camera, but I'm going to point to, is you've done the Mr. 12 volts adaptation.
Yeah, CarPlay.
So it's the standard PCM 3.1 head unit with the the software that goes with that, which most of us have now got running on the latest. That you can't put anything newer onto it. So that's so I've changed the hard drive in my PCM. I think putting the 12 volt, Mr. 12 volt is the same. Take the whole unit out. Oof, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Thank you. Thank you, Cambridgeshire County Council. Off we go, and suddenly we've got CarPlay, which means all the things that we like on our phones can now be in our car. I mean, you were saying it was a game changer. I think that's
absolutely, yeah. I mean, the sat nav feels really dated. You can tell that it's from 10 years ago now.
Exactly.
This has just brought it up to date. It's wireless with the phone, so phone's in the centre console.
Yes, okay.
Waze, Google Maps, your music,
fantastic.
Your phone, everything works through the Mr. 12 volt.
Yeah. So you kind of don't use the PCM
at all
interface.
No, you're working off of the TV setting.
So the TV input.
That's it. Yeah, okay. Exactly that.
Yeah.
And then the thing that really attracted me to the Mr. 12 volt unit was the fact that it uses the most fibre optic connection for the sound quality.
Okay.
So the sound quality is really good. Works really well with the Bose.
Yes, because you've got Bose in your car,
I have.
And of course you don't have the Bose stickers on the door because they're not the original door cards.
And the car that it came with didn't have Bose.
But for all intents and purposes, you've got the Bose set up, which is definitely better than the standard GTS trim is the Sound Package Plus, which does have the separate amp under the seat. It's a 7-speaker setup, so sensor plus 3. So actually your audio is probably sounding quite nice, isn't it?
It sounds good. You might not like my taste in music.
No, well, we don't need to worry about that. but that's they're in another driver's choice. But let's talk about the GTS and the 981, Phil, because I think you and I have both. I've had my car for 2 years. You said you've had yours for
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And you just hinted at coming up to some possible go, no go, sell, keep decisions, performance. Your eyes may be caught by the 981. But why GTS in the first place?
I'll be absolutely honest. I've bought lower spec models in the past and then hankered after the higher spec model. So I had an Audi TTS when I wanted an RS, and 10 months later I sold it and bought the RS. Okay. I've done that numerous times over the years and ended up with the kind of the top spec model, so to speak. I know the Spider is the higher level, but it was out of price range at the point when I bought this.
Yeah.
So the GTS, whilst you can buy an S with all of the options in theory on it, the GTS just felt like the model that I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted the GTS interior, which is ironic in the sense that I then bought a car with a full leather interior. It didn't make sense, but there was only 81, 82, 83 manual GTSs registered in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's a really limited pool of cars that you're going to get
shopping for.
Yeah, you're shopping from. Yeah. So I had to compromise.
Okay. And I mean, as a fellow GTS owner, I mean, I find the combination of driving dynamics, performance, we've found that the vaguely decent driving range. We're now following clearly an OAP and a little old Peugeot, but you can't have it all, can you? But the balance of performance, the way the car makes you feel as an owner. I mean, literally, as you get into it, you were saying, I think, how even now, 3.5 years on, it still feels special when
every
you get
time.
into it.
Time.
I have the exact same sensation, experience when you get in the car, it's in the garage, you look down, there's a little Porsche badge on the steering wheel, and you think to yourself, wow, this is awesome.
It feels special. It sounds special when you start it. The little flutter of excitement in your stomach. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and I think we both. You were saying again that you'd looked at a 718T.
I had a 987.1 S, so a 3.2, which I had for 8 months. I bought the first one I saw, classic no-go with buying Porsches, I know. But it had been owned by a nice couple who'd had it 8 years.
Right.
His wife was a teacher, she used it as her daily. And the reality was they had looked after it, but they'd maintained it like a Fiesta or a Corsa. So they hadn't maintained it like it needed maintaining. and then I picked up £5,000 worth of maintenance.
Right.
I got lucky. I bought at a good price. I did a few mods that made it desirable, and then I sold, and I lost 2,000 or 3,000 in total through the ownership experience.
Not too bad.
It wasn't awful. No, it was a good learning experience, because I know people do get stung with their first Porsche purchase if they do it badly.
Yeah, I mean, and again, depending on age at that point when you first buy a car, you can be saving up some quite big bills, and not because the cars have.
It was just maintenance.
Yeah,
there was
it's
nothing
just things that need doing, don't they?
Yeah, clutch, crossover pipes, some brake pipes, the usual tick box stuff.
Yep. So 987.1, and you went off to Scotland to do the NC 500.
Yeah, did that with a group of friends. 5 of us went. Absolutely superb trip. I did lose the exhaust on the way up there. The exhaust bolts failed where they rot and rust.
Oh no, the join. Yes.
Yeah, so I had from Scotch Corner on the A1 all the way to Inverness with a blow-in exhaust, which I lost my sense of humour with quite significantly.
I can believe that. And you managed to get it fixed up, and you got it fixed before you started the loop.
We were just outside Inverness, and there was a small village, and we found a local garage, and the guy who ran the garage was actually a petrol head as well.
Right.
He was actually setting up a business to hire cars to do the NC 500, and the Porsche Boxster was part of what he was offering.
Oh really?
For £100, he sorted both sides, put fresh bolts in, new gaskets in.
Oh, no way.
I was good to go. It was perfect.
So that was, which is what you'd have done if you'd had it back.
Yeah,
in
it was
your local garage.
sorted. I didn't have to deal with it any more in my ownership. But yeah, the car really impressed me once that was sorted. Enjoyed it, but it did feel quite old. It was good for the time I had it, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I sold that in the February of the following year. So I'd had the car 8 months. I didn't have it long. And I actually went to buy a 2.5 GTS 718.
Right.
With the mental intention of it was the perfect platform for someone who likes modding cars.
Yes. Well, with the turbo engine, all of a sudden you've got a lot of scope. And by then, of course, we knew that the 982, 981, 982 chassis was very capable. But you didn't?
No, I went up there to test drive it. I'd actually put a deposit on it with the Porsche Nottingham. Put a deposit on it, drove it, and came back feeling deflated.
Really?
It didn't feel how I hoped it would feel. And having only had a Porsche for 8 months, and all of a sudden I was flat 6 or nothing, I felt a bit of a fraud. But it just didn't create the same emotion driving it that my 987 did. So it was a no.
Interesting.
Spoke to the sales guy and said, look, sorry, not for me. And he obviously questioned what I didn't like.
Yes.
And I just said, it just doesn't feel the same or special like my 987 did. He said, do you want to try the 4-litre GTS Cayman that they had in?
Yes.
Of course I said yes.
Definitely.
Regardless of whether the outcome, of course I said yes. So he gave me the keys and I went on a solo test drive.
Oh really? Very nice.
And came back grinning like a Cheshire cat and placed an order on a brand new one.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that was where we got to.
Yeah.
And then there was still the back end of COVID and car availability going on in 22.
Yeah.
And then the Ukraine situation kicked off a week or two later after I put my deposit down. And I thought this is going to extend.
And everything ground to a halt, didn't it?
Yeah, and I'm sure I'd read that Porsche wiring harnesses, wiring looms were made in Ukraine.
And I think there was I had a problem with getting a replacement PSE as well, which I think was also being made out in Ukraine.
So I started virtual shopping as we all do as car guys. My wife was not best pleased with me because I was already being a pain in the backside about not having my weekend car. And I started test driving options. I looked at things like the Toyota Supra.
So you really had gone way back.
I wanted something to modify and to carry on what I normally do. M2 competition, TTRS, and then I saw this car for sale down in Portsmouth.
Oh, so this actual car?
Yeah, this actual car. Okay. Went down to test drive it.
You're fine.
It felt special. Didn't like the interior, as we've talked about before. Came away, had a week to think about it. Re-test drove the M2 competition, which was its which was my preferred option.
Here we go. Yeah, they don't lack for performance, do they?
No, not at all. Test drove the M2 competition, and whilst it felt good, it didn't feel as special as this did when I sat in it.
Interesting.
And I drive a BMW as my daily.
Daily, okay.
Yeah,
and that's quite a quick car, isn't it?
Oh, it's fast. Yeah, it's faster than this, but for sure.
Yeah.
But it just felt too familiar. It didn't feel separation enough from my everyday car.
Right.
And I had a 330e at that point.
Okay.
A nice BMW.
Yes.
Not an M car, obviously, but it was a nice car
with a decent amount of performance.
Decent amount of performance.
Absolutely.
Ummed and ahed, and then thought, no, it's the Porsche that I want. Struck a deal with the Porsche dealership, and picked up a week later.
And just to recap, so that had, because I've said it a little earlier in the film, but that had the full leather interior. Yes. So, which was a complete, you basically, if you liked Alcantara, that was what you got. If you didn't like Alcantara, they'd swap it out at no cost for the full leather. So everything was Alcantara became leather.
I probably bought a Porsche GTS with the only part that made it absolutely unique as a GTS. Yeah. And I didn't have it.
Exactly.
And it was the piece I wanted.
Yeah. So how soon after that did you then think, I want to do a bit of interior tinkering?
I found the interior in the November of the same year.
Okay.
So I bought the car in March 2022, and I picked up my interior in November 2022.
Right. Okay.
You've done the steering update as well, haven't you?
I'm running the GT4 map.
Okay. I'm interested in that.
Yeah. Which is different. I mean, none of them are better or worse. They're all just different. I think a lot of people seem to rave about the GT3. It adds weight, which is to say, I think it removes assistance because you're doing more of the work yourself. But yeah. Very nice.
I know this road.
It's a little bit bumpy. There's a slightly smoother bit coming up, but I was in a 718T earlier this week, which is another video coming up in due course, and we were comparing the engine characteristics with a naturally aspirated pickup and the exhaust, and the exhaust gets louder, the acceleration picks up, the car gets up and down the road, as Phil is demonstrating, as a package of experience.
Oh, it's superb.
It's pretty good, isn't it? And actually, yes, we're in a GTS, but it's fair to say that you get the same experience in any of the 981 cars. They've all got that fantastic engine, and whether you've got the PDK or the manual. And actually, even without the PS exhaust, I mean, the standard, the manual 2.7 with stock non-valve exhaust still sounds epic. Yeah. It's absolutely fabulous.
I think it's the first car I've owned that I haven't wanted to change the exhaust.
Interesting. Okay.
It gives enough. It gives everything you want it to do.
Yes.
No drone.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it? So that was a little spurt in Sport Plus.
Yeah.
Now I was trying to chat and look down the road and enjoy the exhaust. Were you using Rev Match?
Yeah. So Sport. Yeah.
Because it will turn it on, won't it?
Yeah.
Do you ever then leave it in that and turn the PSM off to disable Sport, the Rev Match?
No, I quite like the Rev Match, and I have to admit.
Yeah.
And I can heel and tow, but it does it perfectly.
I mean, it is so good, isn't it?
Absolutely superb. Yeah.
I think when you want to go full chat and you don't need to be worrying about heel and towing, then it really is super impressive. So your shift has gone in really nicely, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, really pleased with it. A friend of mine has a 991.2 Carrera T, which is also quite modified, and he's got the numeric, and I drove his car and went and bought one.
As simple as that, was it?
Simple as that, yeah. I loved it.
Yeah.
It just gave me a the confidence, because they're not cheap. They're a lot of money.
Okay.
And it just gave me the confidence it was worth it.
Yeah, I had a little play with it earlier when you arrived. And it's got such a. I mean, the cliche is precise mechanical action. It really is. To say nothing of the effect of having a shorter lever. I do like. Actually, one of the things that the standard manual shifter does have in its favour.
It's closer.
It's closer, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it does fall to hand more easily because it is less far to travel. But the corollary of that is that you have to then move it further. And for the first time a couple of weeks ago, I was driving and I realised, it is quite a long throw. And if you're really on it, then that is more time spent pulling the lever back, which clearly with yours, less time because it's just less far to go because it's a shorter lever. So it's a bit of a classic 981 question, but anything that disappoints?
A little bit more power would be nice. Maybe shorter gears would be nice. I know the internet loves to talk about the long gearing in the normally aspirated 981s, 718s. It is long. You're at 80 mile an hour odd at the top of second. It's long, but I don't say I don't have fun because of it. You don't need to ring it right out to the red line to be having fun. Probably the 4 to 6, 6.5 is enough to play with. Rev range.
It really is, isn't it?
No, it's not a problem. Would I consider final drive should be shortened? Yeah, absolutely. Would I like a lightened flywheel? Absolutely. I'm just at the point now that we kind of talked about earlier where do I put more money into this and modify it further, and then it gets quite spendy quite quick.
Yeah, it can do.
Or do I go for a Spider of some description, 981, 718?
Yep.
Can't get to an RS too far from a budget perspective.
They're quite pricey, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a bit, and I think the prices are still relatively volatile as well. I'm not convinced that they're stable.
No, I mean, it's not long been out, the 982 RS, is it? And
the GT4 RSs seem to have dropped a bit, and I think the Spider RSs are going, personally, I think they're going to do the same. I think there's 20,000 in them to potentially drop out, and I don't want to take that loss myself.
No, it's quite a big hit, isn't it? And as those changes you were just describing that you could do to this car, they're starting to get, as you said, a little bit more pricey. So flywheels, that's gearboxes out. We've spoken about the opportunity. I mean, because actually, but there is scope to do stuff. I mean, this is again, there's pretty much everything can be changed, and there will be somebody who's changed it. So one of the things I've got my eye on in due course is as I mentioned a little earlier to you, is aftermarket exhaust manifolds, so equal length manifolds with a high flow cat setup, and then you can put a tune on the engine. And actually, the engine tune in a naturally aspirated engine is not so much tuning up; it's actually removing the restrictions that the existing map kind of imposes on the engine. And I think there's a school of thought that says you can get the 3.4 engine, so the fact it's in a GTS at that point is irrelevant, the 3.4 engine up beyond the magic 100 horsepower per litre, so around sort of 350, 360, which starts to give us quite meaningful power to weight ratio. So I guess then there's sort of an open question: is what do you get from a Spider that you wouldn't get from a breathed on GTS? But then the Spider has a very different feel to it.
Yeah, I've driven the 718 Spider and 718 GT4 at Porsche Experience Centre Silverstone. Objectively, they aren't double the value of this. Absolutely not. This is 75-80% of the driving experience, and certainly on the road, I'd question how much benefit you would feel. That said, it's a GT product. It does feel just a little more special. The carbon seats, the ceramic brakes, all the nice options.
True enough.
The magpie in me likes shiny bits. So it's almost like Porsche have modified a Boxster to the nth degree.
Yes.
Which appeals. I can't lie. It appeals. It doesn't make sense. It's an emotional want. But that's where my head's at.
Fine.
The problem with the 718s is they just don't sound very good, relatively speaking, compared to the 981.
Yeah, and this is the natural. So this is the 4-litre engine.
Yeah.
In the GTS 4-litre 4.0 718, and then to say nothing of the
much more induction noise, much less exhaust noise.
Yeah.
Which I know some people like. I adore how this sounds, and would want to emulate as much as possible what this can do. So there is a question mark on buying a 75, 80,000 pound Spider and then having to spend £5,000 upwards on exhaust modifiers.
Putting some fancy metalwork on the underside. Yeah.
So it kind of doesn't make sense. The 981 really appeals. You then get the 3.8. You can have the bucket seats, etc. Yeah. The only issue is then it's not really a GT product. It's not comparable to the GT4 from a chassis perspective.
No, and actually that because the 981 GT4 carried the moniker, but it was the stock Carrera engine, I think.
Yeah, the GT4 had the same engine as the Spider, the Carrera engine, as you say, but it had the 991 GT3 front suspension.
Ah, yes, okay.
And then bespoke rear.
Okay.
The Spider had X73, which is the option.
What we know from this car, or from the standard GTS options. Okay. And certainly, by all accounts, the GT, if you like tracking your car, the GT4 does bring a whole load more to the party, particularly if you've got the bucket seats and the carbon ceramic brakes. So we're going to take the next left when it comes up. But I mean, I don't track my car. I'm not a huge track driver, and I live in a part of the country, many of us do, where the roads are lumpy. So I'm quite happy to we'll go up here. Quite happy with the sort of the de facto standard PASM suspension. But this is kind of to the theme of similar but not the same, and I think there's so many permutations from the factory. I mean, every person who bought a new Boxster had to make some of those key decisions.
Yeah, for sure.
What do I want? And then we get to take a car that someone else has already spec'd and go, well, does that match what I want? Do I want to tweak? I mean, I've added really minor details. I've added puddle lights to my car and footwell lights, and I genuinely, we talk about getting in the car and it makes you feel. When I see my puddle lights come on and my footwell, I think, oh, now I'm enjoying my lighting. But that's the joy of owning a car and making it yours.
Absolutely.
And some people, I think for me, you were asking, what's the journey with my car? At the moment, I don't have another car in my head. I'm really enjoying making the Boxster, making my car even more mine. For others, the pleasure is the journey, which is kind of what you were hinting at with the 981, with the Spider, and this is the joy of it, really. And I hadn't particularly set out. When I sort of hinted at it before, I hadn't particularly set out to buy my actual car, but it was a manual, and as you know, they're relatively rare in GTS. It's about 80.
I've got the numbers. Yeah, it's 80. I think it's 83. I've got it by colour breakdown as well.
Right.
So I think it's 83 manuals, of which there was 30 red ones, then split between Guards and Carmine.
No. So
and I think it was 360 or 70. I've got it on a spreadsheet.
Okay.
360, 370 cars in total of split between the PDK cars and the.
And that's Boxster or Boxster and Cayman?
That's just Boxster.
Just Boxster GTS.
Yeah,
okay.
Boxster GTS.
And we're talking the 981. So in the UK, globally, roughly mid 2014, I think late calendar year 2016. I think some of the cars are sort of model year 17 because of the way the model year doesn't sync with the calendar year. So it's a comparatively narrow window on sale, and as you just described, really quite small numbers.
Yeah, which was why I accepted a GTS with the wrong interior to have the right colour and a manual gearbox. It seemed the easiest thing to change.
It's brilliant. Well, it's easier than changing the red. I definitely had not planned on buying a red car, but as regular viewers will know, I'm now a huge Carmine red fan, and your car with, I think actually weirdly, I think the exterior GT pack, which is the gloss piano, the piano black, kind of works better with the guards red. I think, again, we're into subjectivity here, but it's very smart indeed. Yeah, so I think we've both sort of had a similar moment where we like the flat six, we've got into Porsche, we like the flat six, we both wanted a manual, and we both in a sense had to compromise a couple of things that the original owner had chosen.
Yeah, for sure.
Or accept those, knowing in your case that actually you can do some quite big changes to get it closer to what you want. So actually, anything else on the interior you're minded to do?
I wouldn't mind doing the red Sport Chrono face and tacho face, but I'm not sure whether the orange needles will work with it. So standard with the black faces, you have the orange needles.
Yeah, exactly.
I think with the red faces, you have white needles. So the faces are very easy to source from various places.
Yep.
The needles, I haven't found a solution for that yet, I'm holding off that.
Yeah.
Seat belts, I wouldn't mind doing some.
Oh yes, that's right. We haven't talked about those.
No, I wouldn't mind doing some crayon seat belts to match the stitch.
So because actually the interior pack put the tint colour, the red or the crayon, down the edges. Would you just go for a full crayon?
Yeah, because it then matches the 718 interior.
Of course,
so on the 718s it's full.
It is the full colour. Okay, so we're going to go right.
But interior-wise, other than that, I'm fairly satisfied with where I've got to.
Yep.
Exterior-wise, I think it's more or less where I would like it. I did put the GT4 side pods on for a bit. They look nice. They worked, but I think I preferred it without.
Yeah.
So I took them back off again.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do wheels.
Yeah, you showed me some very good-looking wheels. And it was and they're nice. They were a good rim, but the colour was, what was the colour called?
It's like a champagne gold.
Yeah.
And the brand was Apex. It's an American
brand. Okay.
Yeah, American.
They
brand.
look really nice. And that wasn't a bigger rim, was it? It was a 20-inch rim.
It's still only a 20-inch rim, and I may even, if I do go down that route, drop to a 19, just to give kind of a performance enhancement.
Yeah, because you're already lowered, that's not going to make your rear arches look a bit too big. So you could be in quite a happy place there, actually. Yeah. I had a comment on the channel only recently about the final drive, the gearbox final drive solution is staring you in the face if you're prepared to drop to a smaller.
Again, it's another
smaller wheel size.
Yeah.
So my takeaways from your interior are a possible lowering of my gear knob, and then I'm looking into the Mr. 12 volt. Because
recommended.
Having the ways and just being able to stream all my music. So second exit on here would be really nice, actually. I'm not a huge multimedia car user, but I do miss having the traffic info, which of course the PCM doesn't have. I'm reluctant to put a phone mount in here, so just having the ability to get some traffic data on the screen. And actually the resolution is pretty good, isn't it?
It's good, yeah. It works really well.
It doesn't really make you think that you need to either do a full upgrade to PCM4 or hold out for the Porsche Classic, which they've done for the...
It's going to come at some point,
It will, won't it?
It'll be extortionately expensive, but it will work well, and it will...
it will be seamless, it'll be brilliant, and it will cost several thousands of pounds, I have no doubt. But I think if you've got an earlier car, because you can now get them for 997 Gen 1, 996, I think it transforms those cars. We're just heading back to where we started, and I think it's probably a good time to do a little bit of wrap up. Phil, it's been a joy to compare the cars. You've done so many things to yours, which I hope has given some ideas to our viewers, and a nice little drive just to remind ourselves why we like the Flat 6 and the PSC and the GTS is such a great package. So that's been good fun. Thank you for coming over.
Thank you.
And as ever, viewers, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Plenty more coming. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next one.